Okay, I really love how this looks. I have been adjusting the lighting in my room and I realized that there's some beauty in the naturalness of this, even this line down the middle of me. How cool is that? So, wow, let's get started. Welcome to my channel. My name's Ashley Alazor. I am a award-winning artist. I've been doing this for a long time, and my channel's all about art, life, music, fashion, you know, uh, what to do in your 20s and in your 30s, that kind of thing. And as an artist, I always look for synchronicities. And let me tell you, at first I was like, how do I get rid of this line from the window? But it just wants to be there. And I think it's actually adding to the video. And that goes to talk about resistance. Like, so often in life, we go push against what we cannot change. And that causes a lot of resistance. And there's also resistance inside of us. Whenever there's something exciting, like an exciting project that we want to do, our immediate reaction will be, I can't, it's not going to go well, I shouldn't do this. And that's inner resistance. So, I am so excited to be doing this channel because I have a lot of YouTube channels. I have my music channel, which I'll link below, and, my poetry channel, which I'll link below. And it's all under my artist name, Odanani. And Odanani is my artist persona. I have been doing Odanani, that like spirituality and that understanding, for years. It started maybe 5 years ago that I called myself Odanani, looking for an artist name. And everyone who's an artist should have an artist name and an alter ego. Someone who's never been bullied, never been hurt, never been rejected, has no siblings, no parents, like, is just a thought form. It's just an entity, an idea, And for me, that really helped me because when I did Odanani, that name, when I came up with that name and I researched that I wanted to find an African spirituality that was about creativity and beauty and life and being a hermit and going on your own and all of this mysterious stuff. And I found this ancient religion, Odanani, and I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo. So Odanani, Igbo, Amaka. Odanani is the beautiful. Igbo, Omaka means beautiful. It's our spirituality. So half Nigerian, half Antiguan, which means really Dominican. I'm Caribbean, okay? So it's Dominica, not Dominican, but Dominica and Antigua. It's because of the military and the Navy. So I don't know why I wanted to go into my ethnicity, but just to explain to you my coming to find Odanani, this idea, this vibe, and then writing music for the last 2 to 3 years as Odanani. And my music is, sometimes it's going a lot of places all over the world, and that keeps me going. Also, just the fact that it's a beautiful release for me, and I'm giving back to people, and people really, I get messages all the time about how they really connect with my music. Like, strangers out of nowhere will tell me, I really like your music, I just want you to know that. And then I'll never hear from them again. But I thank you so much to all my fans and my supporters of my art and my music. I really do. So without further ado, this whole video is really about an introduction to me as a person and as an artist. And like I said, this line down the middle of me, it's just like giving. Like, when I was setting this up, I was like, I want it to be a bright scene, and I can go fully into the shade. You can see my face unaltered, and I can go this way. But this line is just so beautiful. And like I said, I think in life we just get frustrated because things don't turn out the way we want them to turn out. So we're just like trying to control them a whole lot, and it's really frustrating. So for me, I was making so many excuses, and I'm really not afraid of what people think about me because they project their own embarrassment and fear onto you. That's a fact, right? So it's not about that anymore. And I'm, in my big age, I cannot be afraid of what people think, because that's just from high school. That's just a high school mean girl tactic, and everyone knows that mean girls have low self-esteem, and that's why they do what they do. So I say all of that to say that this is an introduction to me as an artist, Ashley Alizor, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments, like how you have been going as an artist in 2023, how you feel that people relate to artists. Because I watched a really cool video, and I'll try to link it below. No try, just do. This video was talking about how the world hates artists because we're not supposed to stand out. I think it's from School of Truth. Um, I love a lot of philosophy, and I love talking about and thinking about philosophy, you know, Socrates, Marcus Aurelius, Machiavelli. I love thinking about all of these philosophical ideas that have gone on, that have been around for centuries, and there's so much universal truth in them. So the one about why artists are hated, it's because we're taught to not stand out. We're taught to conform, and when you conform, you're supposed to be then accepted, but you're not. You're just forgotten. So it's a trick, because conformity leads to being just swept under the rug. You just play so small to fit in and blend in, and your life is just gone like that. There's no legacy. There's nothing you left behind that inspires people or helps them to grow or change, because you played it safe, because you were conforming. So conforming can really dim our light, and it can take so much away from us. So, you know, I've always been a nonconformist and anti-conformist, if you can't see from, you know, the tattoos. And other things about me, you know, and I used to say, you know, I'm ultra liberal, which is true. I of course am not like just like a sheep that just does whatever everyone else thinks, but I'm a liberal Democrat. Like, don't ever get that mistaken. And, you know, and I also think that something that bothers me, switching topics, is when someone gets money or gets rich and they go from being a liberal to a Republican, all to save their money, or they say they're moderate now or libertarian, all to save their money. I hate that. Also, a lot of fake liberals, you know, in Los Angeles especially, you will meet the kind. I won't say what kind, but they do so much dirty stuff to the Black people in their life and to the Latino people in their life and the Asian people in life. They do so much dirty stuff, but when you ask them, they're like, oh yeah, all liberal, Black Lives Matter. But the people in their life who are of color, they just can't be bothered with. So I've seen that a lot. And when I was living in Los Angeles, I'm from Los Angeles originally, and right now I live in Texas. And it's a big difference, you know, living in Texas from LA. It's essentially like moving to a different part of the world, because people just act totally different out here. They look totally different out here. And there's just not as much, like opportunity or things going on. Like sometimes I have a good time out here and I really am like, wow, I'm so glad I moved here. Other times I'm like, I gotta get out. I gotta go to anywhere else. um but anyways, so what we're here to talk about is maturing into ourselves as an artist. You know, I still need to see the Beyonce documentary. I can't wait. I will put a review up once I see it, because everyone is saying it's a testimony to how hard you still have to work as a Black woman, which is true. And it's also a testimony to not giving a heck about your haters, because anytime somebody did anything in her movie, even her, they got hate. But they kept doing it and they kept going, and then they found their tribe and they found their people and everything worked out. And you know, it was because they didn't stop and they didn't pay attention to the hate, and they said, you know, embarrassment be damned. So you know, it's like, that's the thing, nonconformity, going up and doing it, because the masses are very insecure. The masses are very much projecting their own embarrassment and fear of being seen onto others. And the masses are so lost because, you know, we've been taught to be this way. Like, this is a inside job, but it's also something that we were taught. So I say all of that to say, one thing. The sun is moving and I have to shift my body because this light is no longer centered, but I'm trying not to control it. It's starting to bend. And I think the coolest thing is throughout this video is that the light is bending and changing. I'm using all natural light. I've jerry-rigged up my phone. So every time it shakes, just know that that is my foot, and I am trying not to do that. Wherever you are in the world, by the way, I want to pause. I want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying, maybe you're watching this while you're eating, right? And I hope you're enjoying your meal. Maybe you're watching this while you're outside, you know, taking a break, and I hope you're enjoying your break. Maybe you just woke up. Maybe you're about to go to sleep. Thank you so much. You're spending time, you're hanging out. I hope this is entertaining. I want you to know I love you. You're so good, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay? This is the tribe. This is the Odinani tribe that I'm starting in America for me with you. And, you know, this is so important that we have these conversations, like as creatives and as expressive people. They took art out of the schools. I'm so lucky at my age that there was a big art push when I was younger, and that it was cool to be an artist, to write poetry. I won my first poetry contest at the age of 9. I was in elementary school, and I won it at the San Pedro Library, and they actually loved my poem so much I got to do it. I got to read the poem as a child in front of adults at the library because my poem won from my whole school. So I have been an award-winning poet for many years. I actually have like 3 or 4 books up on Amazon. I think 4 books on my Amazon. I'll link below. You can read my poetry book, my poetry books, Thirst, Within, Without, and Concrete. Those are my 3 that I have up right now. I'm always writing more poetry and compiling them. And, you know, my next poetry book, I'm so excited to release it in 2024. I will be doing so much more around poetry and around art. My paintings are up on my Art Pal, which I can also link below. I'm working on so many more paintings. You know, it took a break for me because not just the pandemic, but I actually had a huge health scare in 2022. Yeah, 2022, and it was really scary. I almost died. I was in the hospital for 3 months. So I won't go too much into that. It was a very hard time in my life, but it brought me closer to who I am now, and to realizing how short life is and how this can all be taken from you. And also my legacy, what I'm going to leave behind when I pass. So, you know, it really got me thinking being in the hospital. And I've been in the hospital before. I've had surgeries, but this one was especially scary. But, you know, I don't say that for sympathy. I say that for inspiration for you. I want to inspire you. And my whole thing is like, make yourself happier and others. Make yourself happier and the earth. Because I think it can be a win-win situation, and I'm always looking for that as a Libra. If you don't like astrology or tarot, it's going to be rough over here for you, just saying. So, you know, the thing about it is like, I have been making art for a very long time, and I also have been kind of skirting around it, just like being a hermit, being an outsider, being a weirdo, outcast, all of that on the outskirts, you know? So I'm coming closer to the center. I'm gonna go more into the mainstream and see how it is out here. And it's to inspire and make you happy and make me happy. So it's a win-win situation. And on that point too, like that's my whole brand. I do sustainable, eco-friendly journals and home decor. It's all made from recycled materials, 100%. Like all the bottles I use, and the paper and the cardboard and the fabric. So, you know, if you want to support a sustainable, eco-friendly small business owned by me, it's called Shop Alizor. I will link that below. And the most cool thing about the Shop Alizor is that everything is being used from recycled stuff, so it doesn't end up in the landfill. You're making yourself happier, your environment happier, and you're also helping me, like, the world. Like, so it's a win-win situation. That's what I'm all about. That's my whole brand with this. So anyways, I should say, you get wildflowers for free whenever you do a purchase with me, whenever you buy anything from me. So that also helps you, because come the springtime, I'm talking like March, you can sprinkle these wildflowers down, and it'll attract like all the butterflies, some bees, and it will help pollinate your area, and the flowers will spread, and it'll help with the oxygen and nature. And I'm telling you, like, I know that this is a bigger issue than just the corporations. It's and us. It's like a combination. You know, two things need to change. They pushed us to this point, but now what? You know, I'm all about taking personal responsibility, because I feel that, especially in my big age, you cannot sit around and wait for change. You cannot sit around and wait for things to get better. You have to do them. So that's why I do this. And I actually feel like it's my purpose and my mission at this point in life, too, very much so, because I want to make sure, and I'm leaning in to tell you this, I want to make sure that I do everything in my power to help the environment, you know, so it's very important to me. So, anyways, you know, I've been talking here for like 15 minutes, and if you have enjoyed this or you've had like any kind of like insight, even if you like it, you don't like it, you can put the down button, you can put the up button, subscribe so you can know when I release more of these. I really want to get my message out there, my message of like happier you, happier planet. I want to get my message of like artists are valuable, like we have a really important purpose. I'm gonna get all of that out there. So that's why I'm here. So that is very important to me. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day. Bye.